Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our information session here today for our Accelerated Pharmacy Technician program here at Scottsdale Community College. This is just an overview about our program. We're very excited to share about it. We would offer this session virtually as well, so you'll get the same information if you were to attend a virtual orientation. It's just nice because it's on our website. You can watch it at any time, and it provides all the information that you would need if you're interested in our program and you want to learn more about it and get started with several requirements that we do have to have completed before you could actually initially enroll in this program. So again, this is just to provide you with all that information, as well as contact information. If you have any questions after you watch this orientation, please watch the whole thing, the whole presentation. It'll probably be about 40 minutes, but it provides a lot of information that you would need so that you can get started in the process if you're really interested. So that being said, my name is Angelica Bakalukas, and I am the Allied Health Program Director here at STC, so I oversee the Pharmacy Technician Program. I have with me today Kendall Bateman, and she is the instructor, so she will be the one that you will go to as far as getting all your instruction for this program. And then I also have Jordan Ditchin with us, and she is our coordinator who helps oversee the health and safety compliance portion, which is a very big part of getting into this program, is making sure you get all of those steps completed prior to enrollment. So with those introductions, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Kendall today so that she can explain more about the program and hopefully provide any clarification that you all might have right now if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you, Angelica. I appreciate the introduction. As she stated, my name is Kendall Bateman. I am a certified pharmacy technician. I have been for almost 20 years now. I've worked in a variety of settings, so this is just a new avenue for us, and I'm excited to be partnered with Scottsdale Community College to bring an accelerated pharmacy technician training program here to the local community. So for this program, we do have Higher Learning Commission approval for it. So it means that we've met all the requirements to offer this for us in the community. However, we do want to make sure that everybody is aware at the top that this program does not qualify for financial aid at this point. However, it does not mean that you don't have options to help pay for the program. There are scholarships that are available that you can search out on your own. There's also help through Scottsdale Community College to help you locate scholarships for funding. If you are currently employed in the healthcare sector, you should check with your employer, because oftentimes they will have benefits to help pay for either the program or your testing or some combination thereof. So definitely check in with your employer. And then you also have the option for self-pay. So this program does meet all of the requirements for the American Health System of pharmacists, which is ASHP. They're kind of the gold standard in the nation as far as pharmacy practice and training for pharmacy technicians, residents, all of the components within pharmacy. So we've met all of their requirements for this program. We will be applying for accreditation through them as soon as we are eligible. They just want to make sure that we have a successful program before they put their stamp of approval on it. So as soon as we have that, we'll be able to apply for full accreditation through ASHP, which is really exciting for us. In addition to meeting those ASHP standards, we also meet all of the requirements to sit for either the PTCB, which is the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board, or the National Healthcare Association exam for the certification of pharmacy technicians, also known as the EXCPT. Both of those, or one of those, is required in order to apply for your Arizona Board of Pharmacy license. So by completing this program, you'll have met all of the requirements to get both nationally certified as well as licensed here in the state of Arizona. From all of these bodies of accreditation, we are required to offer 400 hours of education and instruction for our students. Within those 400 hours, we offer 200 hours at an externship site. So we place you with a local pharmacy and you have hands-on experiential learning that you complete while you're going through this course program. It does currently kind of exceed the standard that's out there. ASHP only requires 140 hours of externship. We're offering 200, which is one of the leaders out there for externship sites. So it's a little bit easier for you to kind of apply those concepts that you've learned in the program into the real world setting, and you do it under direct supervision with licensed pharmacy and pharmacy technicians. So we're excited to offer that for our students. This program is an accelerated program. Most programs offer it over a 9-month period of time. We're offering this in one semester or 16 weeks. So it is a little intense, but we have every confidence that you can complete the program successfully. In order to do this, it is a 9-credit class. So you'll have 7 credit hours of in-class instruction, and then you'll have 2 credit hours set aside for your externship for you to go out to your site and have your experiential learning. One of the things that we offer here at Scottsdale Community College is we do a cohort program here, so everybody starts their class at the same time. We don't have that rolling enrollment that you'll find at other institutions, which I think is helpful. It helps you build those networking skills and helps you build good relationships with your classmates, and you're not having to constantly adjust and figure out how to bring new people into the fold. So we find that it's a little bit easier to go through the program if everybody just starts at the same time. Another thing that we are really excited about here at Scottsdale Community College for this program is that it is a hybrid program. It's kind of designed for the individual who can't necessarily commit to a full 40 hours in the classroom every single week, in addition to having externship hours outside of the classroom, being mindful that we all have things that we need to take care of. But if you're still looking for an opportunity for career growth, this is something for you to consider. The bulk of your coursework every single week is done at home at your time, when you can fit it in. And then we meet once weekly to kind of go over all of the information that we've reviewed the week before, and then have hands-on practice in a lab setting once a week. So it gives you a little bit more time to take care of whatever you might need to take care of outside of the school environment. So we're excited for that. Here's just a visual breakdown of kind of what we've been talking about. So there's 2 programs. You'll be enrolled for them at the same time once you've completed all your health and safety requirements and you're able to sign up for the class. So you'll sign up for PhD 225, which is the Accelerated Pharmacy Technician Training for 7 credit hours. You'll also sign up for PhD 253, which is the Pharmacy Technician Internship for the 2 credit hours. So the entire program is coming in at 9 credit hours for the full semester. So what we'll be talking about in your coursework, so this is PhD 225, the Accelerated Pharmacy Technician Training. This is your actual course. This is where you'll get all of the knowledge that you need to go out to your externship site. So we'll give you your foundation skills that you'll need in order to become a pharmacy technician. We'll talk about pharmacy practice. We'll talk about legal requirements and laws pertaining to care of patients. We'll go over some of those soft skills that are sometimes not always intuitive with customer service skills, and kind of help with a little bit of those problem solving skills that come along with customer service. We'll talk about your rights and responsibilities as a pharmacy technician, but we'll also talk about the role of a pharmacist and their rights and responsibilities, and then what laws and rights and responsibilities are applicable to whatever institution you end up practicing in. We'll also go over pharmacy terminology, and you'll get an overview of pharmacology, or how medications act in the body. We'll discuss compounding and how to complete those successfully and safely for patients. And then we also delve into pharmacy math, which is a big component of what we do as pharmacy technicians. The second course that you'll be enrolled in is a PhD 253, which is your externship. So this will begin in the 6th week of the program. You'll be placed at a site, or you'll be matched with your pharmacy site. It is kind of based on your preference, but as well as instructor's discretion. We want to make sure that you are set up for success. So we don't want to put you into a situation where you may not be comfortable, or you may not necessarily be interested in that area of practice. So we want to make sure that you're successful. So we kind of take both of those pieces into consideration when we place you to our externship site. We match you up with your preceptor. You reach out to them, you set up your schedule, and it's worked between you and your preceptor while you're continuing to attend your weekly classes with me. So here is what the semester would look like for you. As I said, you'll be enrolled in both of these programs. For 225, our first in-class day will be August 23rd, and we'll meet every Saturday through the entire semester. So we meet on Saturdays from 8:30 in the morning until 12:30 in the afternoon. That's our hands-on lab time. We'll have a brief period in the morning where I'll answer any questions that you might have about the materials from the previous week, but then we'll really get into kind of hands-on application and what that would look like in a pharmacy setting for each of you. Additionally, you'll have that 253 enrollment. Roughly 6 weeks into the class, we'll match you. You'll have 10 weeks to complete your 200 hours. So you're looking at roughly 20 hours per week in addition to your classroom time in order to get all of your requirements met. But it's definitely attainable for the individual given the hybrid nature of the program. So So we want to talk a little bit about cost of tuition because that's everybody's concern. We are excited for this to be offered through Scottsdale Community College. It does offer a lower cost option that is a little bit more financially attainable for most individuals. So through SCC, if you are an in-state Maricopa resident, your 9 credit hours for the program comes out to $873. There's a one-time registration fee for $15, and then there is a course fee for $200, and that is just your tuition and registration costs for the program, coming in at $1,088. If you are not a Maricopa resident, we do have the cost breakdown for you as an out-of-state resident. They're in the second column, coming in at $3,563 for you. There are additional costs that are associated with the program, and I want to make sure that we touch on those for you so you have a full picture of what this looks like. We do have a book that we use. It is a digital format. It goes through our partner with NHA, and they have 2 options that are available for students. And really, this comes down to your individual circumstance. Both programs are the same program. The only difference is the higher price point offers you exam prep as well as pre-registration for taking your exam through NHA. The only difference between NHA and PTCB is really the length of time the programs have been around. PTCB was the original. They are accepted nationally. It's kind of seen as the standard of your certification. There's nothing wrong with PTCB. There's nothing wrong with the NHA program. It's just length of service. Here in Arizona, both are accepted. If you feel like you might be in a position where you will be leaving the state of Arizona, you might want to consider taking PTCB just because NHA is a little bit newer onto the scene. They've only been here in the last like 5 or 10 years. They're not recognized in every state as a certification body, which is required for you to get your license in most states. So it's just something for you as an individual to think about and consider. So you have 2 price points there. So if you just need to get the course materials, that's that lower price point at the $577.50. If you decide that you want to take your NHA exam with the program, then you do the $693.75. And again, that's at your discretion, whichever one you feel would best suit your needs. As we discussed in the previous slide, we have a $200 course fee to cover lab materials and program costs, all that kind of stuff. We do ask that students purchase a set of scrubs. So there is a $35 fee there. You can purchase them through the bookstore. We have a link so you can get Maricopa or SEC branded scrubs. Otherwise, we just ask that you have a clean set of scrubs for your labs. And then when you go out to externship, you need a set of scrubs when you're at your sites as well. In order for you to go out to your externship sites, we do have 2 programs that you need to enroll with, which is American Data Bank as well as My Clinical Exchange. Those are the next 2 items there. They do have fees for them associated, which is $10 and $20 respectively. Jordan will be going over all of the requirements for those 2 programs here as soon as I'm finished, so you can get a better understanding of what's required. You are required to have both of these programs set up and completed before you can enroll in the program. So we want to make sure that you have everything that you need in place going into the process. Then there are some other things that are related to ADB as well as My Clinical Exchange, which is you do have to have a certificate of medical clearance. So depending on your personal situation, there could be a fee associated with that. If you don't have all of your immunizations, there could be some additional costs associated there. Jordan will talk a lot more about the drug screening process, but there is a fee associated with drug screening. And then you are required in order to work in pharmacy to have a level 1 fingerprint clearance card. So it's roughly $80 for you to get that. And it does take the longest amount of time. So you want to make sure that that's something that you're looking into sooner rather than later. And again, Jordan will talk about all of these requirements here in just a few minutes. So don't panic just yet. You are required to hold basic life support provider, so a CPR card. So there is some additional costs that can be associated there depending on how you get your certification. You are required to have clinical background check. So there's an additional fee there. And then lastly, you do need to have a training license through the Arizona Board of Pharmacy to go out to your externship site. And there's a $60 fee associated with that. And all of these requirements need to be met before you can enroll in the program for August 23rd. So all told, you're looking at about $1,800 out the door, depending on all of the variables that we just kind of talked about, but it is still by far one of the more affordable programs that are out there for students. So we're really excited to be able to offer this for the community. All right, I'll turn it back over to Angelica, and she can walk you through application process, and then Jordan can talk about the rest of the requirements.
Okay, thank you so much, Kendall. So I know that was a lot, so let that sink in. The first step now would, if you're interested, is you'd want to apply to Scottsdale Community College and become a student. That would be step one. Step two is you'd want to make sure that you get all of your health and safety requirements completed. We're asking that all of those get completed before you can actually enroll in the program. Okay, so we have a deadline. We'll go over that. It's August 4th. Once you have everything completed and you have the green light, you can go ahead and enroll and reserve your spot. From there, then you can go ahead and pay for your classes. So that being said, I'm going to go over and transition this to Jordan so that she can talk about the health and safety compliant components. There are several, and we want to make sure that we set everybody up for success. So if you are interested, you know exactly what you need to do so that you can get enrolled in the program. Okay.
Thanks, Angelica. So we do have several health and safety requirements that Maricopa Community Colleges requires of all of our healthcare students. As a pharmacy technology student, you would fall under that healthcare student umbrella. So we do have a couple of different programs that we use. American Data Bank is the first one, and that is a website where you can go in and upload all of your safety documents so that they can be checked and verified. And then My Clinical Exchange is for the clinical sites to be able to see your documents. So these two websites do talk to each other, they work together, and ideally everything syncs over for you. So when you set up your accounts, make sure you're using your Maricopa email. And once you get logged in, you'll be able to see all of the requirements that you need. So your first step is going to be to go to this link, maricopacompliance.com, and it's going to help you get your ADB, American Data Bank account set up. So when you go to the website, it's going to look just like this page. It's going to have a link for you to create your account, and you'll just follow those steps. If you have any issues while you're completing the process, the best thing for you to do is to contact the ADB customer support. The phone number's there on the screen. They're going to be able to help you with any technical issues or issues with setting up your account. So once you get logged in, you're going to purchase the immunization package and the background check. Here on the left side of the screen is a picture of all of the immunizations and other requirements that you're going to need. We're going to talk through each one of these, so don't get freaked out yet. As you log in, you're going to select the Allied Health and Pharmacy Technician checklist, and that's going to give you the requirements that you need for the pharmacy technician program. You're going to complete all of these things except for the drug screening at this time. The drug screening is something that we're going to send out to you, and you'll have a timeline in which you need to have it completed. So you'll upload all of your documents to the checklist, and the ADB team will view them. They'll approve or reject them based on whether or not they meet the requirements, and give you feedback on that. So once you've completed everything except for the drug screening, we ask that you send us an email and just let us know where you are in the process. Later on in our presentation, we do have all of our contact information for you. So again, you're going to have immunizations, MMR, varicella, Hep B, Tdap, influenza, and COVID-19. You're going to need to have tuberculosis testing, a CPR card, a fingerprint card, a background check, a statement of health clearance from your provider. You're going to need to acknowledge the healthcare student manual, upload a photo ID, and then a photograph for your student badge. So for your immunizations, for your MMR, you're going to need 2 doses at least 3 weeks apart, or you can get blood titers, which just show that you have immunity to, you're going to need measles, mumps, and rubella titers. So all 3 of those. You're going to need varicella, 2 doses at least 4 weeks apart, or again, the blood titers. For hepatitis B, it's 3 doses over 6 months, or the Heplisav 2 dose, or this is one that you can choose to decline. A lot of our clinics will accept declinations for Hep B. Tdap needs to be no more than 10 years old. You're going to need the seasonal flu vaccine, or you can choose to decline. And same thing with COVID. It depends on the brand, or you can choose to decline. For all of your documentation, you need to make sure that your name is on the form and the name of the provider or the medical office where you received the vaccinations. The more information you have on these forms, the better. ADB is going to be looking for all of this information. If it's not on there, they will reject it and ask for new documentation. This video at the bottom has even more in-depth information on all of the things that you'll need. So if you want more information, you can click there to watch the video, or you can see the healthcare manual. It goes into even more depth. Like I mentioned, we do have the ability to accept declinations for certain vaccinations, depending on the clinical sites. The most common ones that we can accept are the flu and COVID-19 vaccinations. We just want to make sure that you're aware that if you do choose to decline some of the vaccines, it might affect the clinical partners that you may be placed with. They may not accept declinations, or you might be required to wear a mask at all times while you're on the facility, while you're at the facility. So in ADB, the declination forms are listed. You can go in, you can sign them. They are listed for every category, but just be aware, having it listed for the category does not mean that the clinical sites will accept it. The flu, COVID, and sometimes hepatitis B are the most common ones accepted. The tuberculosis skin test is one of the things that's a little bit more challenging for students to get done because it's a little bit confusing. So I want to take some time and really explain what you need. So the CDC recommends 2 TB tests initially, the 2-step TB skin test. And that's a little bit confusing because each skin test is 2 parts. So to get 2 TB tests done, it's going to require 4 visits to your doctor. You're going to go have the test placed and then go back and have it read. And then you're going to go back and have another test placed and have it read again. And that needs to be done 1 to 3 weeks later. So a total of 4 visits. And per the CDC guidelines, the second test cannot be placed before a 1-week time period has passed. So you need to make sure you're waiting for day 8 before you go back and have the second test placed. There's also the option to do a quantiferin or T-spot blood test, and that's like a titer that shows your immunity. Different insurance companies will cover different things for your testing, so it's up to you to figure out what your insurance might cover or how much each test might cost. The quantiferin is easier because it is 1 trip, but it is more expensive typically. So just look into what your options are. And if you do receive a positive test back, you're going to need a chest x-ray done within the last 12 months. And then on ADB, there is a TB symptom screening questionnaire that you'll need to fill out and upload. You're going to need a CPR certification from the American Heart Association. It needs to look just like the cards that are up on the screen here. American Heart Association only. Everything else will be rejected by ADB. And it needs to be for a BLS provider. It cannot expire during the class time frame. And if you're looking for a class, SCC does offer HCC 109. You can find it in the Find a Class search, or you can look for other outside CPR classes. It just needs to be American Heart Association for BLS providers. We do require that you have a level 1 fingerprint clearance card. This is one of the things that can take the longest to get done. So if you don't have one of these already, we recommend you start with this one. It can take 4 to 6 weeks. I've heard that it comes back sooner. I've heard that it takes longer. It just kind of depends. So if you don't already have one, order it now. You're going to order it through the Arizona Department of Public Safety. And when you go to order your card, you're going to select non-IVP for health sciences students and the State Board of Pharmacy licensure. We ask that you upload a photograph that's going to be used for your student ID badge. We're looking for something very similar to a passport photo, except you can smile. So we want it to be professional, a headshot, shoulders and above, with a solid background against a wall, white or off-white. If you have tattoos or piercings that are visible, we ask that you cover them. And please don't use filters or take a selfie. It's better if someone else takes your photo. It just looks more professional that way. We ask that you refrain from using excessive makeup or big fake eyelashes in your pictures. There are 3 things that have to be completed within 6 months before starting the program. So the background check, the statement of health clearance from your doctor, and the drug screening all have to be done within 6 months before the program. So if you're coming from another program or you are using an ADB account that you've set up in the past, it's possible that you might need to repeat some of these things. The background check done through ADB is a $54 fee. The statement of health clearance, there's a form in ADB that you're going to print out and you're going to take with you to your provider, and then they can fill it out for you saying that you are fit to participate in the program. And then the drug screening will also be purchased through ADB. That's $58, but you're not going to do that until you get the email from us saying that it's time for you to order it. Once you do get that email that goes out at random, sometime between now and the beginning of the semester, you're going to order your drug screening. If you are planning to be out of the country, just go ahead and let us know so that we can help you plan for your drug screen. We do have facilities all over the country that you can go to. So if you're within the country traveling, you'll be okay. If you're out of the country, just go ahead and let us know. So once you get the email, it's going to have directions that tell you step by step what you need to do, but you're going to order and pay for your drug screening through ADB. And when you go in and order, it's going to ask that you select the location where you're going to complete your urine drug screen. We recommend that you call the facility before you place the order, just to be sure. We did have a student one time ordered her drug screening and then went to the facility and their systems were down and she couldn't get her drug screen completed within the 48-hour time frame that you have to get it done. So we just recommend you call them first, just to be sure. This is a mandatory time window. You have 48 hours to get it done. We cannot make any exceptions to that. So if you do have any issues, you really want to make sure you're on top of it. You're contacting ADB, you're contacting the facility, and you're following the directions carefully. There's another informational video on the drug screening process if you would like more information, and it's going to be linked here. Any health and safety items that expire during the semester are going to need to be renewed, submitted, and approved by the deadline. So if you already have your CPR card, but it expires during the fall 2025 semester, you're going to need to renew it. So just make sure you're checking your expiration dates, you're checking all of your documentation, that nothing expires before the end of the program. We are here to help you. We're here to answer any of your questions, but ultimately you are responsible for your health and safety compliance. We have the ability to view your ADB account and we'll send you reminders as we get closer to the deadline, but you have to have all of this done before the deadline. So once you've gone through American Data Bank, you've set up all of your documentation, you've been approved, you can go into My Clinical Exchange, and the link is here, myclinicalexchange.com, and you'll set up an account through them. Again, if you have any issues with the setup of your account, your best bet is to contact My Clinical Exchange. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do that through their contact or FAQ links on the page. But it's as simple as clicking on registration and student login, and then you can choose your username and password and get your account all set up. Once you have gotten into My Clinical Exchange, you're going to select again Allied Health and the Pharmacy Technician checklist. And then there's going to be the option across the top of the page to sync your account with American Data Bank. And once you've clicked that, all of your documentation should transfer directly into My Clinical Exchange. If you have something that does not automatically sync over, you will need to upload it directly into My Clinical Exchange. And then depending on where you are placed for your externship, you may have modules or exams to complete to prepare. And that's typically things like HIPAA or patient care or just general things that apply to a lot of facilities. And those will need to be done before the start of your class. If you have any issues, including rejected documents, your first step would be to contact the support for ADB or MCE, depending on where you're having the issue, using the phone number or the link on their website. They're going to be able to see everything on your account and assist you in the best way possible. You can also check their FAQs, their tutorials, and things like that. If you've contacted them and you're still having issues or you still have questions, you can contact us at allied.health@scottsdalecc.edu, and we will do our best to help you get it figured out. These things do take time to get together and complete. As much time as you think you need, you're probably going to need more. So we recommend that you start today to make sure you're giving yourself enough time to get everything done before the deadline. As Angelica mentioned before, the deadline for our fall 2025 semester is August 4th. So start today, give yourself time for corrections. You never know if you have a document that's going to be rejected. So you want to make sure you have enough time to get everything submitted, everything uploaded and approved before the deadline. Because if you're not compliant by that August 4th deadline, you will not be able to start the course. And the reason why is because the clinical sites, they're the ones that are asking for all of this documentation. So we are trying to get you ready for your externship. If you don't have all of your documentation ready to go, they're not going to let you start your clinical or your externship with them. So we're trying to help you out. That's why we set the deadline August 4th before your class starts, so you're ready to go. And we just want to mention that the spots for the class are limited and they're going to be given on a first come, first served basis. So the sooner you're done with your health and safety and you let us know, the sooner you will be able to secure your spot and enroll in the course. Again, here's our email, allied.health@scottsdalecc.edu. We typically respond within 72 hours, so it's a pretty quick turnaround. And we do check your accounts and we'll send reminders to you, but you really need to make sure you're on top of it and that you're paying attention to that deadline in order to get everything done in time. I'm going to turn it back over to Angelica and she's going to finish out our info session.
Okay, thank you so much, Jordan. So I know that's a lot of information, so that's why we have this recording so that you guys can listen to it. At the end, if you are interested and you want to enroll in the program, please reach out to that allied.health@scottsdalecc.edu and we can send you the PowerPoint as well that contains all this information. A couple of other things I just want to go over as far as professional role development. Just reminding you that you are representing Scottsdale Community College. So when you are matched with your preceptor and you're out at the organization that you're placed with, please make sure to be respectful, wear the appropriate attire. More than likely it will be scrubs. Wear your badge. We will be giving you your student badge as we talked about with your photograph. So make sure you're wearing that. You know, address them by their whatever they prefer to be called, whether it's Mr. or Mrs. Just make sure that you're being respectful and that you're representing us well so that we can continue these partnerships, as we're very grateful to have them. So we want to make sure that we're being compliant and following all of their guidelines. Let's see, so that's really the end of our presentation. So like Jordan said, enrolling and getting your health and safety requirements done as soon as you can is your biggest task. We have 10 spots. As we said, spots are limited. We already have 4 of those filled. So we want to make sure that if you're really interested in this program, that you get everything done and completed in a timely fashion. And again, we are here to support you. We want you to be successful. So if you have any questions, the allied.health@scottsdalecc.edu is the best way to get a hold of us, and we will respond within 72 hours, if not sooner. So we're excited for this program. We hope to see you in the fall semester, and we will be offering this program every semester. So if fall for some reason doesn't work for you, then we will be offering it again in the spring. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Take good care, and we hope to see you in the future.